I even phoned Dylan. I was like, Dylan, I don't know why you're taking this fight, because this kid is on fire right now. And he's getting better and better. It's not like he's going backwards, he's going forward.
One of the reasons he is taking it is that Moses is WBO #1 at the moment, so that there's some kind of light at the end of the tunnel for Dillian taking that fight.
Ain't no light at the end of that tunnel.
I agree with you. I think
it's dangerous, and the board are now in a situation where they think shit. So I don't know how they're going to deal with that.
Yeah, I think it's a mismatch on paper. Of course, it's a fella that won a British title at welterweight, who hasn't boxed for a long time, against a.
The buzz around a potential clash between Dillian Whyte and Moses Itauma has reached boiling point, and now Derek Chisora has ignited the debate with a warning so blunt, it's shaken the boxing world. Chisora isn't offering polite advice or veteran wisdom. He's issuing.
Want to be a killer? You hang out with killers. You train like a killer. Remember that.
Doing a demand Whyte should walk away from this fight before it's too late. To casual fans, it may sound like a publicity stunt or friendly ribbing between two old rivals, but those who know Chisora understand he rarely speaks without intent. His message is layered with respect for the sport, recognition of danger, and the kind of dark humor that only amplifies the seriousness of his point. Chisora has seen enough of Itauma to know the threat, raw power, lightning hand speed, and a ruthless instinct that hunts down weakness like blood in the water. His words to Whyte aren't about testing a rising prospect, they're about avoiding what could be a career-ending night. He even quips, "Don't put him to sleep too badly," but behind the joke lies a grim forecast. 4 brutal rounds, no more. Anything longer, Chisora...
You should be glad that a young man has fought the guys he fought, done what he's done. Take the fact that you say, I haven't been scared, I haven't been hiding and running, and he's fought good guys and he lost, come back and still fought good guys. He didn't lose and then come back and say, I'm gonna fight.
Suggests means something has gone badly wrong. Predictably, Whyte fired back with venom. He dismissed Chisora as deluded and insisted he isn't about to back down from anyone. The defiance is vintage Whyte, but between the lines sits the image of a man walking into fire without checking the heat.
Moses is an exceptional talent. He's been in the game a long time. He's got a very, long-standing amateur record.
In the war of sound bites, Whyte may have landed the sharper jab, but reality still tilts toward the danger Chisora laid bare. Promoter Eddie Hearn, never one to shy away from hyping a fight, added fuel with his own comments. Yet even in his praise of Itauma, there's an undertone of quiet caution. When Hearn calls a fighter exceptional, it isn't empty flattery. Itauma is no overnight hype job. He's the product of years of...
Quick night for Moses Itauma, or it could be a banana skin where he's in for a war and he could get dragged into deep water. Either way, it's good for Itauma because we're going to see what he's all about, or is he going to have another quick night? We have to see. Or Dillian Whyte could think to himself, yeah, he could be kryptonite for Itauma because he is.
Of hard graft, a glittering amateur pedigree, and a relentless work ethic. To dismiss him as just another prospect is to invite disaster. Hearn doesn't spell it out, but the warning is there. This is no ordinary challenge. Then comes Peter Fury, who offers one of the most balanced yet damning breakdowns. He paints 2 starkly different scenarios. In the first, Itauma tears through Whyte in record time, making a devastating statement. In the second, Whyte somehow drags the young lion into a punishing trench war. Yet even then, Fury cautions Whyte may not win. Experience can slow youth, but only if youth lacks the speed, hunger, and...
Like Dillian, but I think Moses wins and wins well. I think he's a class act. I think Dillian's best days are probably behind him. And I think he's a special talent, Moses, so I think Moses...
Itauma carries right now, and Fury's verdict is blunt. Itauma looks like a man who cannot be slowed. Former world champion Liam Smith takes an even harsher stance. He doesn't just pick Itauma to win, he practically begs Whyte to avoid the beating altogether. His definition of Moses wins and wins well leaves no room for a close fight. It means one-sided punishment, not worth the risk for a veteran whose prime is already behind him. Coming from a man who's faced world-class opposition, that's more than a prediction, it's a career advisory dressed up as commentary. Frank Warren builds on the warning with a reminder that Itauma isn't simply a...
But I'm talking about with somebody who doesn't fiddle around, somebody who actually would like to get him in the latter rounds and is capable of knocking people over. He's a puncher, you've seen him do it, and he's done it.
An early round knockout artist. The one time he went the distance, it was against an opponent dangerous until the final bell, yet Itauma never stopped pressing. For Whyte, whose stamina has wavered and who's been caught late before, that's a nightmare scenario. If he thinks survival early leads to control late, Warren's words kill that notion instantly. Itauma doesn't fade. He hunts from start to finish. Warren's conclusion is merciless. There's no safe path to victory for Whyte here. Johnny Nelson adds another layer, framing the fight through the lens of boxing code. He calls it a good fight, but
changing until that new star establishes himself. So just wait and see, but it's exciting.
What do you make of Itauma versus Dillian Whyte?
It's a good fight. Dillian Whyte likes to fight. He'll have to tear up. Yeah. You know, you can't test this man's cojones. You know, he'll fight anybody and everybody. So with Dillian doing that, you think, you know what? You know, it's a good fight, good testing fight. And like
then drops the word every veteran dreads: gatekeeper. In boxing, that's code for a fighter who tests rising stars but doesn't beat them. And if that's the role Whyte now occupies, Itauma is the worst opponent imaginable. Hungry, fast, and ruthless, he's built to devour gatekeepers and leave them behind as stepping stones. Nelson respects Whyte's willingness to fight anyone, but cautions that some fights aren't worth taking just to prove pride. Fury's earlier analysis lingers like an echo in both scenarios. Itauma comes out ahead. A quick knockout makes a statement. A drawn-out war gives him valuable experience while Whyte absorbs punishing damage. The so-called advantage of experience only matters if the young fighter can be...
It could be a quick night for Moses Itauma, or it could be a banana skin where he's in for a war and he could get dragged into deep water. Either way, it's good for Itauma because we're going to see what he's all about, you know. Or is he going to have another quick night? We have to see. Or Dillian Whyte could think to himself, yeah, he could be kryptonite for
slowed. And right now, Itauma looks unstoppable. Early or late, Whyte emerges in a worse state than he entered. Boxing journalist Gareth A. Davies goes searching for Whyte's only possible edge, the mind game. He suggests Whyte could try to rattle Itauma in the press, disrupt his rhythm, and test whether the young man can handle the psychological pressure of the spotlight. It may be Whyte's last weapon because once the bell rings, every expert circling this fight agrees on one thing: Itauma's rise looks inevitable. And Whyte could be the man standing in his path when the storm breaks. Mind games, press conferences, and psychological warfare. Gareth A. Davies believes Dillian Whyte's only real chance against Moses Itauma might come before the first bell. Disrupt his focus, unsettle his rhythm, and hope to force mistakes. But Itauma doesn't look like a man who cracks under pressure. He's been groomed for the spotlight, built for nights when the lights are brightest.
I was thinking about this earlier, Umar, and I was thinking that next week in Riyadh, Dillian needs to try and get in Moses' head in the fight week. And that might mean an aggressive assault at the press conference. It might mean...
Suggestion feels less like strategy and more like desperation. Trash talk fades as soon as the bell rings, leaving nothing but fists and consequences. Buddy McGirt takes a different view. Focusing on Itauma's mentality, he compares it to a war film: bullets flying, smoke filling the air, and a soldier who keeps advancing without hesitation. For McGirt, this fight isn't just another date on the calendar, it's a milestone. A chance for Itauma to plant his flag and declare to the heavyweight division that the new guard has arrived. McGirt's warning is clear. Itauma won't underestimate Whyte, won't give him breathing space, and won't allow him to reset. Against a younger, sharper, and hungrier opponent, Whyte's battle-worn experience may prove more burden than benefit. Even inside Whyte's camp, optimism is measured. His manager admits victory is possible only if everything goes perfectly. That in itself is the problem. Against Itauma, perfection isn't optional. It's the bare minimum for survival. I
think he understands the importance of this fight. I mean, what it means to him in his career. So, you know, it's all about now going out now, and it's like all about bullets and
stake. One lazy jab, one misjudged distance, and Itauma will pounce. Whyte's career history shows he's human, and humans err under pressure. Itauma's style is designed to feed on those errors and close the show without hesitation. Then comes Tyson Fury, who offers perhaps the closest thing to a note of caution about Itauma. He suggests the fight may come too early for the young contender. Yet, in the same breath, Fury praises Itauma's ability to absorb knowledge like a sponge and calls him a very good fighter. Coming from a man who has shared the ring with the greatest heavyweights of his era, that praise carries weight. It also highlights an overlooked danger. Itauma can adapt mid-fight. Whatever plan YT brings, Itauma has the intelligence to figure it out and dismantle it before YT has time to adjust. And so the discussion circles back to Derek Chisora's blunt demand. This isn't idle chatter to drum up hype. Chisora has been in the trenches, stood across from young lions and seasoned killers alike, and he knows what it feels like to face someone who isn't there just to beat you, but to end you. His message:
if Dillian gets it right, he can beat any heavyweight in the world. You know, he's another fighting man that believes in himself, and he's mentally very strong. Mentally very, very strong man. He just has to get it right on the night. And this is the heavyweight business. You know, the fact that he'll be the underdog, that will motivate him and push him to do what he knows that he can.
To YT is simple: walk away. Because this fight, for all its appeal to fans, carries stakes beyond titles or rankings. It's about pride, legacy, and survival. For YT, the risk isn't just losing. It's losing in a way that rewrites his career forever. For Itauma, it's the perfect platform to announce himself as the future of the heavyweight division, and the consensus among boxing's sharpest voices is that he's ready. From Liam Smith's brutal honesty to Peter Fury's tactical breakdowns, from Eddie Hearn's promotional praise to McGirt's war-ready imagery, the chorus is unified. Itauma is not the kind of opponent you approach without a flawless plan and the tools to execute it under fire. And even then, there's no guarantee it will be enough. The boxing
see how much that Dillian Whyte has left, and could this be potential? I think it does have the potential to do what Martin McCauley did to Jared Anderson. Maybe it's too early, or maybe he passes with flying colours, and that's why you got to watch it and find out. But one thing I will say about Moses is he's a very good fighter, good little boxer, good puncher, and a lovely kid as well.
The boxing community now waits to see if YT will heed the chorus of caution or embrace the challenge head-on. But as Chisora, Warren, Nelson, McGirt, and even Fury have hinted, this is not a fight worth taking on pride alone. Because pride, as one commentator put it, doesn't stop cuts from bleeding. If this fight goes ahead, many believe the script is already written. A young, hungry powerhouse colliding with a proud veteran whose body carries the miles of countless wars. One man eager to announce his era, the other desperate to prove he still has rounds left in him. But the danger, as Derek Chisora sees it, is that this isn't the kind of fight where the old guard earns respect in defeat. It's the kind that leaves them questioning why they ever stepped through the ropes. That's why Chisora's demand isn't about a single night, it's a warning to the entire heavyweight division. Be smart, be prepared. Never underestimate a force like Moses Itauma.